Oh, all right. It's a couple of minutes past already, so yeah, let's simply get started. I'll share the screen there. A bit of a smaller group today, but that's perfectly fine. I made a little agenda which is pretty much the same structure, like a little update on the work groups, a little update on the tasks and rewards. And as a third agenda item, I figured it would be perhaps interesting to think a little bit about meeting attendance and how that could be rewarded. Like I put PO up there, but it doesn't have to be like the actual PO up. But yeah, that's something I was curious to discuss, basically. Is there anything else that should be added to the agenda? If not, let's dive right in. A little update on the incubation / structure group, which still did not receive a new name. So far, there's suggestions coming in by Tevo and myself, so we're getting there.
Regarding that, I've thought maybe I know if would want to know if people have seen what these working groups are done, or somebody who has already joined in this, already to come up with name even in here and just submit the task, because in some way we would like to move this task along and not keep it up for weeks and weeks, or have a bit of discussion why these kinds of tasks don't work, so we don't have to go like push it so hard at the people. If people find that no, we don't want to get paid for doing these kind of bounties, or not get rewarded or incentivized these kinds of activities, then where is that line? Like where we like what has to need to be met in order to do these kind of bounties, because it takes time to kind of create them, to share them, to give it like a meaning, and if it's ignored, then it's like a bit of a waste of time or what.
Yeah, well then, at the minimum, we can learn some lessons there. Yeah, like you say. Yeah, I could go into it now. Maybe there's, looking at the attendance list, pretty much all regulars, so maybe somebody has some input on I don't know, it feels weird to be like, why did you ignore this task, you know? Like, I don't want to be like that. That's not the spirit, I don't think.
Yeah, I understand. It's like but from one perspective, if you want that the system works, you want to kind of know how to improve it, and not like, should we just archive it because it's low attendance, or is the people who attended, should we just use the results what we did get, but then it's kind of creates this centralized system. So I feel like there is some kind of onboarding or like missing, like or I don't know how to explain it. Maybe there is some gap between getting attention to create the quick decision, because I feel like this, like naming a thing takes only like 1-2 minutes, but it might give a feeling that this is so hard to give a name. Or
yeah, well, for reference, I mean, I might as well just show the task, because then we can first have a quick check, like, did everybody see this task in the first place? Like, of that I'm not even sure. I would expect it to show up here. Not entirely sure why this board is empty. Right. There we go. Yeah, so like the current name of incubation/structure work group, yeah, that can be improved. Participation is relatively low level. Oh, there's a third actually. That's cool. Thanks, Julian, for contributing that one. Perhaps the reward is too low. That can be a factor, or people simply haven't seen it. That can also be.
Yeah, it actually, for me, it took it more like 4 days then when I like went back to this documentation stuff, like what I thought, okay, how to clean this part, or then I realized, oh, there is this thing, and I was just about to create a new working group. Like then I was like, I could use that to share it out everywhere, but yeah, it's even still didn't get like attention.
Because how do you announce the stuff, Pete?
Well, it did get mentioned in the town hall meeting, and there's yeah, at task creation it gets spammed on Discord, but that's it. I did not make like a broad announcement of like this task. So yeah, there's that part. That was, well, surely it wasn't optimally announced. Yeah, I would say.
We run a little bit into the same issue. Also say for bounties like this, for example. And to say, oh, okay, you want the goal of a bounty is to encourage and engage the community. But if nobody knows about it, it's pretty difficult to engage the community. It's shit. So
yes. Yeah, that does check out.
So I think sometimes maybe having with what I play around now is to have you can have a dework dework board on GitHub, right? On Discord already. So you have one board in one channel where you see all the tasks or bounties which are out there, for example.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I think right now it's just getting spammed straight into the main, which I thought I made a separate.
Don't get me wrong, for us it's a little bit the same issue. So just figuring out how can it be the best communicated to the community, because I think with all these channels and whatnot, not many people are able to catch up. Because a lot of folks are already on how many Discord servers, and they have how many channels.
Yeah, very true.
Just to figure out a way where it's easy to know, okay, where to find the bounties. And then always just making some announcement from time to time. Hey, keep an eye on our bounty board. Keep an eye on our bounty board. Not related to the task, but just having this one place. Maybe an easy one-pager, something like this. Whatnot.
Yeah, fair. That makes me wonder. Most of our community is on Telegram, not on Discord. And there's integrations where you connect channels to groups on Telegram.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe that could bring extra attention, but yeah, not sure if that's the way.
And even Twitter, because when you see, for example, when you move up there, you have the small Twitter icon.
Move up there?
Directly next to the title. Can you see it? You have the title, name a working group, reward 250 HX and 250 symbol tokens, and directly next to it you have this small Twitter icon.
Sure. Yeah, now I see it.
Just click on it and see what happens. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, fair. That works. For this, I would not share it on our main account, but yeah. That would,
7,000 people.
Sorry?
Yeah, this would be a spam then, maybe.
Yeah, a little. If it's automated, for sure. Like manually selecting the coolest ones, I guess that, well, the cool ones don't need as much amplification as well. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked a little bit. Yeah, well, it's interesting for sure. But yeah, it would get a bit spammy, and then to make a separate account, there's a decent chance people who would follow that account would also take the effort of already being up to date, perhaps? Not sure if that holds, but
I think the main issue is that in ecosystems we never have the community. There are a bunch of communities. There's the Discord community and the Telegram community and the Twitter community, and they often live on their platforms. And somehow to figure out, okay, which message do we want to bring to those different communities? It's not just figuring out already with which communication channels exist and how can they be used for active community engagement. Just for example, one thing in Cardano, we have a lot of the ambassadors, they are moderators of official Cardano channels. Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, Discord, whatnot, a bunch of community channels, and they moderate the stuff. So if you want to boost the message out, then you don't have to address the channels. You just have to address the ambassadors in this regard, and they make sure to spread it out to their communities.
that sounds very nice to have. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that would be great. However, I think at this point we don't have that set up. Yeah.
Another point is how to motivate to write a name for this working group for the people who are here, because I think everybody has been on one of them, or I assume they have some of feeling what work is being done in these kind of sessions, either by watching it from YouTube or keeping up with Discord channel. So what in, like, for example, Grandano, Ian, Sukren, Felix, you all have been somewhat related to this. What is missing for you in order to put that title in, or what was the barrier? Or was it the same that you didn't know that this task existed?
Just wasn't aware. And when I was, I posted it on Twitter with the Swarm account.
That counts, I would say.
How is it for Grandano, Lane, Sukren? 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 How to pronounce this?
I would go for sugar. That works. Sucre. Sucre.
Sukren.
French and then French and English together, I think. Well, lurking is fine.
All right. Then another topic related to that is I shared out the new message in the Ambassador channel about scheduling a new event for either tomorrow or weekend or next week. I'm gonna go vacation and take a bit more free time for myself. But in these few days, what I have available, gonna continue that framework creation. And the first session was like quite a nice state to understand in which situation people are, and it does feel like everybody's in like very early stage, no guides, no resources, just doing it. Like as soon as idea pops in, they try to like play it out to see how it works, and if any issues come, they kind of solve the problems as they go. And started with some process mapping also for proposal creation related to Catalyst, but I will see the ability to also use that for SWA proposal creations if the fund opens again. So interesting stuff there. And yeah, next working group basically want to do more processes. I look at that framework a bit, and then have another weekend to kind of throw it out, share it, similar like overview video like I did for the last video, and then if needed, do more working groups, maybe more detailed then, because we're gonna then see the potentials and people might want to kind of create their own processes. Yeah, we'll see. It's an early stage.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I was feeling bad. I just had to leave a little early. Well, it ran late.
You were very long there compared to how much you said. Like, I'm gonna check. I mean, then you're like...
That was really cool. But I have to admit, I did not put my availability here yet. No, it was even additionally promoted to name the working group. And you added the extra Jimble rewards. Yeah, it does feel like we pushed it decently here and there.
Yeah, Felix mentioned he was not aware, but he was twice in the place where I shared him directly. But I think voice to voice, like sharing, is a bit different. And when I share it in Discord with messages, announcements, I put it like, here is video, here is more stuff to do, like new scheduling, and here is a task bounty. So it might get lost, but I feel like I don't know what are the like activity feeds people watch. I use Discord, but for me it's like I also muted all the channels I don't care about basically, and maybe I'm putting all the feeds at the same place where everybody, like general channels, are like, although I assume people have it open because I do, but
yeah.
And it just gets like ignored out. Then it creates this feeling that like, why do I push so hard? Why do we do all of these videos in transparency if nobody really cares? Like maybe they care in a sense that yes, it's good that there is something, so if something goes bad I have somewhere to watch, but as soon as it's like normal or like general activity, then it's being avoided.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, additional outlets, like based on the sign-up form, I've got a MailChimp list of, I think by now, over 200 email addresses. Technically, we could say like, well, if a task didn't automatically get picked up after a week, let's say, or well, any given time frame, then we could amplify it more broadly, like perhaps have like a weekly. Yeah, that also gets spammy. I feel if you would send out a weekly dework open task overview newsletter, that's yeah. I would like to receive that myself, but at the same time I can see that getting spammy very quickly. But maybe a dedicated Twitter account. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't really see this is the best fix yet.
You need to find people who just want to do bounties, whatever it is. And then it doesn't matter what channels they use. They just in the place where bounties appear and kill that. And that's why I think, like, why I found that bounty task so somewhat important is that it's so easy to kind of get rewarded and participate. And once you do that, you kind of get the habit of, okay, read bounty, submit here, and that the process is not like painful because you already done it before, and they are all so similar. So all you need to do is read and input.
Yeah. I do think it could be nice perhaps to have like a weekly Twitter thread with the open bounties, something like that. And or pushing it more actively. Maybe it doesn't need to be automatic, just to prevent spam. But right now there's no single bounties are getting pushed to either Telegram or Twitter or email even. So yeah, there's definitely room for experimentation there. That does make me wonder, practically speaking, that task creation today was selected to be the day to create a poll based on the submissions. Should we stick to that?
And that's why I was trying to push for, hey, let's brainstorm names right now, because even if Felix Grandano, then we would have already 5 samples to create poll with, and that would be showing that
Yeah, true.
that it is like there is an options, there are people using bounties and giving that like feedback, positive feedback loop in a sense that tasks are being done and bounties or whatever ideas people come up with are being considered.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for joining as well. Welcome. So yeah, we can do it. We can straight up ask then, I guess. Ian, Grandano, Felix, any suggestions? And if so, please do submit. Then we can poll.
I tried to log in, but dework gets loading. Since 2 minutes. Even refreshing, but it's loading.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same for me.
It was slow for me as well at the start, but
So they do some updates. Okay.
yeah, could be. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty important in a way because it relates to, well, how do we deal with tasks and what do we do if there's no response? But at the same time, I don't want to take up the whole meeting, the whole hour.
Yeah, I think we covered the structure and podcast, unless somebody else has something to add. No, podcast is another topic, but okay, we can move on if we need to.
Yeah, I did want to ask as well. I'll put it to slideshow actually. What kind of content we would like on the Gitbook, because the Gitbook is live now. I was being so stupid. I was trying to have multiple spaces together in one menu. That's not how it works. You do need separate subpages on one space, and then you get to have the meetings and nice integrations everywhere. Albeit a bit slow, but Miro, yeah, should be working.
It is there was the dework tasking guide. I think these documents could be used, which I created. And I was wondering, where is that the drive folder itself? We could also upload the files in at the same place.
I think that's on the singularitynet server, so for sure you can. Yeah. It should. Oh, I thought I included a link somewhere, but I only embedded it. Nice. Okay, I'll put the link somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's fine if you don't like share the folder itself. I assume, okay, if it's because it's good if it's not like public. I mean, it's public but not editable, so people can't move and delete stuff there. But like what have list like you already have. but yeah. But then you still might want to give some access. I know. One thing I can do is I have all these documents in one place, so I can share where there are, and you can create copies of them.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, direct edit access.
Yeah, I'll set up the rights for that after this. Yeah, just very basic getting started instructions, sign up form.
Yeah, but it's looking great in a sense that it is gonna be very useful. Oh, sign up form here.
Yeah, it should have. But yeah, what I did want to. This is all public now. Yeah, it works. It did get me wondering, like, what's missing? What else do we need besides a basic getting started guide, explanation, and transparency on the rewards, on the disbursements, and a meeting schedule and meeting notes? Like that felt to me like, well, that's kind of the basics. But if there's input on what else we could put there, I would like to hear that.
Some key resources to maybe whatnot, where to find the community. Okay, there's Discord, but do you have also Telegram and Twitter and whatnot? Maybe some introduction what the guild is about, or not what the ambassadors are about, and some referent links to most important links: SingularityNet, Deep Fund, website, whatnot. Because there are a lot of normally people who are, well, let's say engaged, they moderate community and channels and conversations, and it's really great to have hey, these are the most relevant resources, and you need them so often, just the links. So yeah, go here, go there, just to have it like a nice library of most relevant links all about SingularityNet, Deep Fund.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. Okay, let's see.
Another thing what is interesting, I'm not sure if this belongs to this part, but from some calls I had in the last 2 weeks with SingularityNet folks, a bunch of them, they have their MetaMask wallets, but they don't know about, Cardano migration and everything, and Cardano wallets, and where to go, where are the light wallets, because maybe we don't want to have them download Daedalus. Don't want to fuck their PCs. Because when it comes then to the point, okay, we want to reward you with tokens, but they are on Cardano chain, they are not on MetaMask, then they are there and asking, shit, where do we set up Cardano wall?
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, that's well, apparently easy to overlook, but you should definitely be on there.
And the photo from you, Pete. With 2 thumbs up, like.
I'm not even gonna do it right now because you screenshot it and it will actually end up there. Not doing that.
Oh, cool. Eric joined as well.
Oh, welcome. Let's see. Yeah, I think, well, generally speaking, keep the suggestions coming. Of course, there's stuff missing on the Git book. It's an ongoing effort to keep that in shape. Then on the community podcast, an update there would be Well, I did not attend the call with Ivo and Julian last Friday. Would you be able to give a little update on that? On the current situation?
Yeah.
Perhaps
So, well, that's hard. So we noticed that you fixed up the infrastructure for the podcast group and channels and all that. So we then started thinking, okay, what tasks now to create, or should we like move the podcast from other server back to the ambassador channel, dework. But then since we didn't have architect in the call, we thought, okay, let's create the things we need to do the interview. So we did some process mapping for the interview tasking, at what needs to be prepared, where we keep our sources, what questions we ask, how do we coordinate. So kind of create like a step-by-step task management for that, and then when do we remind, and what we do after interview, and what are like interview-related tasks like. So broke it down, and then had some few like open questions, like should we have our own channel for video uploading. So we were wondering, like, do we want to give like the SingularityNet to these videos every time, or should we have our own YouTube channel too, where we kind of create the podcast presence? And so that's like an open question we would like to bring to a bigger audience to ask what they think. Like, should there be like a several places there, or like a single source for now? Yeah, so that's about it.
Okay, cool. Let's see, will there be a separate session coming up for that, or will it simply be on the Friday night, or is there any, like, what would be the next moment to join in on the fun?
Well, there is a time yes for next Friday, but I myself won't be there, so I'm not sure is this project management style stuff will be continued and something tried, or their agenda is a bit changed. So we'll see. The meeting is based on the people who join there, and those who join, they set the narrative. The more they join, the more collective experience and direction.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be joining Friday. All right. Thanks for that. Then, yeah, I figured a small note on this task management group, which is not quite getting off the ground. I do plan on tomorrow having just an open session where I'll be on just hanging out on Discord and trying to get some cleanup going on the dework board. Like a couple of the stuff in the done list is actually imported from Notion, and that's pretty messy, to be honest. I should not have done it that way. It's still being slow.
Yeah, I keep refreshing it every now and then. Maybe I create the overload.
I think they make updates right now.
Yeah, well, no, it's messy. Trust me. So that's yeah, I don't know. There's some stuff was assigned, but now it's not assigned, and it's only half of the tasks have like written who it was assigned to, and yeah, I think I just need to take one step back and make a Google sheet to get a proper overview. Because I like if we miss out on a task and we end up not covering a language for a specific piece of content, that's perfectly fine. But I mean, would also prefer not to have that. But if people submit work and that gets missed out, that's what I want to prevent, of course. So I'll be cleaning that up a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure how enticing it is for others to join that, but just so you know, I'll be doing that at 9 UTC tomorrow. Let's see.
AM or PM?
AM. You like that?
Yes.
Let's see. First ones are live. Got a blog post. Also available in Russian. It does take you to the forum without too nice of a layout on images and stuff. Sometimes it does copy them correctly, and yeah, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure what the logic is there yet. I might be able to figure that out at some point. It's only 2, but it's a start, and I really like seeing this line of also available in Spanish. And one more pop-up, yeah, that list will simply get longer. So yeah, I was pretty happy to get that at least started a little bit. I think this one, yeah, this one did copy all the embeds and images, and I'm not sure what the logic is. We'll get there. So yeah, I wanted to update that a little. Yeah, I was saying last week that I would make an intermediate moment for doing the payments, but then I was looking around and seeing what needs cleanup to get finalized to have a, yeah, just a proper full round of getting all the rewards out. I think it might just as well, today being the 21st, might as well just stick to the end of month, honestly. That, yeah. Just it keeps it simpler. And also for next week, that would be to have a, yeah, proper recap on all the payments done and seeing how that aligns with the allocated budgets. Let's see. A small update on the Rejuve beta task. Tomorrow, end of day, that should be invite should be sent for that. So it is progressing. Then Swarm session 1-pager. That's in a way comparable task like the one we dove into at the beginning, the naming task. It's sitting there and it's not getting picked up. And yeah, in a way it's this. Oh yeah, it was slow. In a way it's the same. Like I was thinking, like, yeah, should we up the tokens a bit perhaps, because it's a 1-hour video. The reward is 1,000 AGIX. It's like, yeah, for also writing it, making a write-up of it. Yeah, not too sure. But I think the same stuff applies. Like really putting. I did not properly amplify the task, so yeah, trying that first would be a good approach, I think.
Yeah. I wonder how it would affect if we would say that every week, if like something is not done, it's being brought up in like, I don't know where is this place where you kind of have to, not have to, but you go through tasks what are not done and you give update of these, and when it's like you have to make a decision to either archive it from then or there or up the bounty. And if you up the bounty, then like that's why I feel like we need a treasury system with roads, or like every people who are here, if they would get like X amount of AGX every month, and then we have tasks which are kind of easy, but nobody, well, I wouldn't say task is easy, but some things are not that hard compared to the incentives, and then we put more incentives on the task, but where it comes from is from everybody's like monthly payment. So that would incentivize like, okay. So if I don't do anything, I'm losing rewards.
That's interesting.
But yeah, that requires that treasury document that we were talking
this
about a few
implemented
weeks
somewhere?
ago. Huh?
Do you know of a place where this is implemented?
No.
Okay, that could be. I don't know. Maybe there's some group doing that already. It would be. I like that. That's interesting. I mean, it does focus on the. It assumes that the reward is too low, and that's why the task is not happening.
Yeah.
Maybe
but even then, if it's like, even if it assumes that the task is something I would rather not do, then it's also like, okay, I don't do it, then. But if nobody does it, then it's still you pay for somebody to finally do it. So the more you wait, the less you have.
Yeah, I like the concept. I'm not sure if everybody in this.
The danger is that it's kind of gamifies it through like activity, like list that I don't know, may introduce the fact that everything is like tied into this project management, and who are gonna create those tasks are also like, I don't see actually that for now, but still might feel like centralized like movement and alignment which is trying to drag you into directions which you didn't really agree to or didn't understand to the agreement.
Yeah, I'll need to let that simmer a bit, but I mean, the simplest solution would be at least attempting decent amplification of the task. With this one specifically, it's not that time sensitive. I mean, I didn't attend that session. I only watched it back, but I would say it's perfectly fine to keep around a little longer this task. Like, yeah, at some point, reality kind of. How do you say that?
Yeah,
it gets up, you know.
One thing not important for many, they don't see the like impact of that, and that's like one reason why not this time.
All right. Yeah, since we also discussed it before, I think it's good for now to park the topic for a bit. Let's see. Yeah, I asked internally for task input, so there might be some more tasks popping up, which I will then amplify properly. Because I do also want to reserve a bit of time, well, to brainstorm a bit about. You touched on it a little already, like, for example, everybody in this group, if there would be some kind of reward or at least acknowledgement, I guess, of attending a session like this. I think that would be really strong to have something there, and I'm not sure if it should be like monetary or like tokens, but yeah, that's almost the same. Yeah, with the eventual goal, I guess, of that, the attendance and contributions that you do to feed into a reputation system. That would be. Yeah, that would be amazing to have, I feel. Yeah, I was wondering if there's any thoughts on that here, if that's something worth pursuing at all right now. or if that's something like, well, we can deal with that way later. Perhaps experiences in other setups. I do see in Swarm the Gimbals getting distributed for attendance, but honestly, I'm not even sure if Gimbals have a monetary value.
No, it's
Okay.
for us. We use Gimbals only to recognize community contribution, because you have sometimes this problem that when you have engaged community members and you want to reward them, you don't have always the financial resources to do so. But anyway, you want to give the people the possibility to recognize their engagement and their contribution. Because a lot of people, they are not here for financial incentives first. They are here for mission. They have a passion, and they believe in what we are building. So it's not even the best case to reward them direct or recognize them with a token which is directly linked to a value. But to simply say, okay, Gimbal tokens we use just to recognize contribution. Means, for example, you make a bounty or a task. Or like here, for example, you are here, Tivo is here, Grandano is here, Eric is here, Lane, Ken. Everybody invests his time to be here and to be part of the conversation. Then simply setting up a task and say, okay, everybody who participates gets 100 Gimbal token. Over time, what will happen is that you have a naturally evolving contributor spot based on Gimbal transactions. The nice thing now is that as you put it as a transaction, tokens, you have the validation of your contribution on chain, right? Because in the metadata of the transaction, you can add whatever you want. So you just make a template, which you use then for the transactions. We have embedded links and everything. And when people come then in 1 year from now, when everything went much bigger, and the community is not 10 or 100 people or 1,000, hundreds of thousands around maybe, it becomes extremely important to recognize who is actually a trustful person. And how can you ensure that those people which you have set up are not decided by a central entity, but a legitimate way to prove, no, they became expert over this time, and here's the proof. We have it as a track record on chain even. So
Yeah,
for me,
perfect.
it's mostly supporting the community in, hey, don't worry, even if there are not the funds yet to pay you, you're recognized, your engagement matters. And because it matters, we built a whole structure to be able to recognize this.
Yeah, well, that kind of solves. Yeah, that's awesome. I was not sure if. I mean,
And the treasury
I should have read a bit more about the background, I guess.
and the system, the treasury and accounting system, which we built around, is by the Treasury Guild. They make this as an independent service. Because we say, from our case, okay, the people who run the project shouldn't have the control over the wallets. Because if they have so, and some emotional shit happens or whatnot, it's always dangerous, right? And we don't have multi-sig yet, for example. So we outsourced it to a third party who controls the wallets, makes all the transactions, and to set up all the treasury and the accounting system. So all transactions are displayed already directly in Discord. So everybody can see whatever funds are coming in and out. And we track it on Gitbook as well, over GitHub then. So for Gitbook then really that it's really easy and understandable to see, okay. And in Discord for the direct, each single fucking transaction, it's displayed. In practice, you have a fully transparent counting mechanism for the recognition of your community contributors. So nobody can come and say, yeah, you're doing behind closed doors, boys club things. No, calls are open, they are now, and they're recognized, that's everything. Join, it's open.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I guess, I mean, I figured out, I was thinking about this last night, because I was being the incubation work group meeting by myself, and I figured, yeah, maybe we should have some structural recognition going on, and well, the way you describe it, I focused on meetings here, but that's, yeah, it can be so much broader, of course.
We use it for a bunch of different stuff. We use it once for internal stuff. Let's say, for example, Tivo and me, we have a meeting for Catalyst Swarm coordination. This is also time we spent, right? So we create a dework task, we assign gimbals to it, and via the transactions it's validated. In the task, we add a short explanation, what was the code about. Then you have it as team tasks. I say, okay, there's a team working on a project, for example, the podcast, right? And you can say, okay, how many gimbals do you want to, for example, then give to this project or whatnot? Then you have the bounties, and you have this events, right? 4 different, at least. Sorry. But this is stuff we explore, so nothing is set in stone there. It's really the stuff we explore by ourselves, by testing and experimenting with the whole stuff. But it seems to work quite well so far. And the really cool thing is then, for example, when you say, okay, with this then you have a data set of only what was earned. Let's say somebody gets from somewhere else 100,000 Chimbal token. Doesn't mean anything because he's not tracked in this recognition of participation, right? So it's a really nice way to avoid that whales can game the system, because everything is based on you have to earn those chimbals, and those chimbals which are tracked on your accounting have another value than chimbals I have earned in Swarm, for example, right? Because it's not directly linked to you. So each project has their own validation of participation. And another part then is as well when you say, okay, now you have this really interesting value chain on online communities and blockchain ecosystems, that you have participation, and constant participation, repeating participation transforms into contribution. Contribution is a social credit already, it's a reputation. What happens now then with a person who earns 5,000 Chimbals, for example? Then you can say, hey, they receive an NFT, like badge, something like a trust badge, whatnot. What happens with a person who earns 10,000 Chimbals? What happens with a person who has 100,000 Chimbals, earns 100,000 Chimbals? So to think also in the future, small and small and small and small makes big as well. So you can build also a role model out of the contribution, recognition and distribution of your tokens then, which allows you to say, cool, unlock level 2, for example. And with unlock level 2, you get access to very specific bounties or applications, which are, for example, very well paid, but you need very trustful people. Because it's not let's say, a 500 AGIX bounty, it's a 50,000 AGIX bounty. Do you want to make this really a public application? Maybe not. You want somebody on this task you can trust on.
No.
How can you verify that you trust this person? Well, you have it all in place already, right? Or when it comes to who is the editor on the site, who is the owner of Gitbook or whatnot, right? So you have this validation then behind that. You say, hey, we trust this person because, and you can 100% verify it on chain, which is just so fucking sexy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It might sound a little complicated, but actually it's pretty simple.
Yeah, sure. Do stuff, get tokens. That's,
Exactly.
that's straightforward. Yeah, makes me wonder how to implement. I should definitely first read up more. That much is clear.
you say you would like to play around, we can simply ask for Gimbal Labs and ask for Gimbal tokens. So just give you something like, some thousand Gimbal tokens to experiment already around with. Make sure everybody has a Shelly wallet. And then just create for calls like this, for example. Or it's just a task on dework. Even during the call, you can set this up. Just say, hey, apply everybody. You make it a multiple application task. This gives you the possibility when you make a multiple application task on dework and you have the people who are signed for it, when you go on approve, it will ask you approve this one or approve several. When you go on approve several, you can approve several people to one task.
Yep. And they all get it.
Exactly. Then you say, for example, when you submit your work, just add your address, your receiving address. And in order to keep, let's say, people anonymous, yeah, it's just your Discord handle which is needed. No email, no things and stuff.
But then,
what would be recommended for everyone to maybe set up a totally new wallet, just a light wallet, which is not mixed with something else, which, for example, one thing everybody have to keep in mind, once you make your address public, everybody can see what you have on your wallet. If you don't want, set up a new wallet and use just this new wallet for your community engagement, for example. Call it singularitynet community engagement or participate or however you want.
Yeah, that's actually something I will need a decent write-up on for collecting, like, with all the translations that are about to get rewards. Yeah, to make just very, very clear. Because yeah, it will stay. Yeah, once it's public, it's out there. And, can you add the gimbals in dework? That's not supported yet, right?
Not yet. Once there is a Cardano integration, you can add any Cardano native assets there, because they are all normally there. Well, you would have a further integration, like we have with Ledger right now as well. But yeah, once there is a Cardano integration, you can run any Cardano native asset there. So you could even, with the Ambassador program, you could even create your own token, right? You start to experiment with gimbals already, just to figure out, okay, how is the experience? How does it look like? But with the goal then for longer time, say, hey, you can create very easily our own token for the ambassadors, for example, or for the community contributors. It's our own community token then, which can be set up from a project, for example, where you say, hey, community, let's set up a token, right? It can be a beautiful program, for example.
Great stuff. It was more brain picking than brainstorming, but yeah, that helps a lot. Perhaps to create a bit of space. Anybody else had some thoughts relating to this? You set the bar too high.
Not related to this, since the topic is very clear. Regarding back to the first thing, the testing, I think we can move it to the tomorrow's morning and see if there is any more responses, because the dework is kind of broken. I can't even make the poll right now because I can't get into the results. So might as well just push it to tomorrow.
It's working.
It didn't work for me.
But yeah, I'm perfectly fine pushing this from 21st to 22nd. I think that's not too big of a crime.
The only crime is that then I might not be able to attend, like, quickly to move forward. But yeah, we can take it slow and steady. as the community grows. Regarding participation, are you going to start with it, like basically next week or whatever? And do you need gimbals, or you want to create your own token for that, or use AJX? Because you might as well just give like 10 AJX whoever participates, and this way you kind of create the participation list. Because you still tracked it.
Oh.
The rewards doesn't matter. The fact that they contributed and that is somehow recorded matters.
I think it would be, in a way, it would be easier, but maybe I'm not seeing that correctly. It would be easier to have like a token which is not also for sale on DEXs, let's say, just to separate the whole. Yeah, maybe that doesn't make sense.
It does, but they didn't even think about the gimbals. One win is that it's not a taxable event to send that token where AJX actually is, but nobody really talks about that.
Fair, yeah. Well, that's a very good argument. Sure. Yeah, it would be cool. I think creating a new one right now is a bit overkill. Also because I'm just completely inexperienced with that. Yeah.
But actually, I think it would be fun. I don't think it's very hard. And see if people from when they see this town hall and think about if we would create our own token for ambassador program, how much and how we would use it, how much we create, then we can like make these like consensus like governance rules that we use only 100,000 that I don't know ambassador token for this year or like 3 months or until some threshold. Yeah, we have to create some like easy rules. Like, let's use some models and then like allocate ourselves more to spend like in 3 months and then time lock in a sense, so that we kind of learn to govern tokens. And if we run out of them, then let's talk about it. Why did we run out of our own tokens? Should we now mint more? And do we create inflation or there is going to be a next version? And then there is like these people who have that first version token are then basically veterans or like the OGs of ambassador programs. And then whoever is here in 1 year, they have like the newer version. Like there is so many ways to cut the token. And if there are people here who I assume they are, because it's like SingularityNet, you guys are all looking at the world a bit different lenses. So would we want to make like a multi-token system here or one specific token, or go along as we swarm, decided, hey, let's just use one token across same communities, which was gimbal, because it has the same purpose for contribution, for participation. If the purpose is same, why we need another token? Although other tokens make it fun.
Well, I could imagine if we would start off with Jimbles and then at some point having an own token, then yeah, it could very easily just distribute that based on the previous distributions of Jimbles. So.
True. Yep. Because you have the list, you have them.
Exactly. But to say already, well, when there's a project who decides to go into tokenomics and to discuss this, And make sure to have a lot of time. This is such a deep and dark topic with so many side and under and sub questions.
Well,
Oh my god.
it is important because I do not have unlimited time at all. Yeah, so well, it is a risk that like setting up an own token and properly figuring out the tokenomics there and time locks and stuff might be a bit much for the current situation.
I think this sounds like a really cool idea, but also agree that it might be. Oh, but yeah, like the sound of. Yeah, sounds cool.
Eric just wants gimbals.
Yeah, yeah. You see right through me.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, good. That's perfect.
One thing also what we could think about is, because with Swarm we started to add HIX to our bounties, so we reward contributors from our community with ADA, Gimbals and HIX now. Put them all into one transaction then as well. So we are in the position as we have 10,000 HIX now in Swarm Fund. We don't have a lot. This is what I personally spent there, because I have some, not a lot, but simply want to figure out, okay, how does it work? Also to start move communities together by using same tokens, because a lot of people in our community, they don't know about SingularityNet or HIX. But when I include HIX already in the bounties there, and they receive them, well, they see them on the wallet, and they figure out already, what is this for token? It's SingularityNet. Cool, right?
Yeah.
So, but if we want to move on this, I love to engage and I love altruism, but maybe we could also find a deal and to say, okay, how can HIX at general be distributed to community engagement at general, and make sure the people who distribute them, they don't earn by it, but they are able to have some access to resources to empower other communities to engage with you.
Yeah, very fair. I mean, I appreciate it a lot, but it shouldn't be coming from your pocket, basically. I mean, you're also making this gives you the freedom to do as you please and allocate where you want, of course. So that's nice, I guess. But yeah, when you're setting bounties for timestamping our videos, that doesn't feel like something that should be coming from your pocket.
But it's actually pretty cool, because I think this shows somehow a really nice potential, because one thing we do in Project Catalyst, we are just in Fund 9 and the proposal submission is open. So we write a Catalyst Swarm SingularityNet collaboration proposal where we simply say, okay, what we do already, introducing tools and concepts to you, trying to support and to engage. We write this as a proposal to Cardano. When it gets voted and funded, we will take a budget there and transform it directly into HIX already, so that we are able to build the fund up there. So idea would be then as well, hey, would it be possible to go as a co-proposer in that we do this together? And another thing then as well, in Cardano you have the native, we call it Catalyst natives, where you can set up a challenge in Project Catalyst and you add your own tokens to it.
Oh.
So that the Catalyst community comes, submits proposal for your ecosystem, and you reward them with HIX. Not in ADA. All the proposals and the proposal assessors and the veteran proposal assessor, they are paid by foundation, the blockchain, the whatnot, the project which have their own tokens, whoever who wants. So really thinking much more about, because Cardano, Singularity, and we are moving already together, so how can we create an effective cross-pollination and cross-use case of our tokens as well?
Yeah, super interesting.
Because tokens are bridges. I think. And when speaking about blockchain ecosystem and community, I think one of the highest level, let's say, motivations of blockchain is interoperability. And interoperability relates between whole ecosystems and blockchains themselves, right? In 2 years, I don't want to have, or in 10 years, I don't want to have a DID on Ethereum, and another one on Polkadot, and another one on Cardano. Wouldn't make fucking any sense. So really figuring out where can ecosystems and communities start to come together and to work together with tokens as well, and engagement.
This reminds me, I was looking around a bit earlier on dework itself, and you've got like this top DAO view. It's actually right in front of me. I mean, wouldn't you agree that there's a pretty big chance a lot of these DAOs are trying to figure out the same stuff we're talking about?
Most likely.
It's like so much potential there. That's crazy.
Keep in mind, all the DAOs there, they are all in Ethereum right now.
Fair, yeah.
For example, our DAOs couldn't be listed there because we don't have our wallet integration, so we are not listed. For example, I think the DAOs, for example, I think they are ones by members, but also by the value, which was, let's say, driven and whatnot. Ah, no, it's there. Ah, cool.
Yeah, it's there.
Ah, nice. Okay. I think we are some of the first ones coming from Cardano inside. And the most of the other ones are Ethereum DAOs.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I was just thinking like, oh man, look at all these numbers. I mean, there's probably overlap between the members at least a bit, but yeah, exactly the things we're talking about. There must be so many groups trying to solve the same stuff. And then talking interoperability, like there's 5 levels above this, it feels like.
Before you can interoperate, you need to make sure your own self-infrastructure is clear. And for now, I would say that we're still missing the treasury piece, a bit lacking on the process and the task management, if you would like to put the dework into like high position. And I think that's it, because we have the communication channels pretty good. We are able to meet, have bi-weekly meetings. Participation rate is strong enough to progress forward and have a positive feedback loop from activities. You're able to, so we're quite close, I would say, but it still requires a push over that first hump.
So something I've been thinking about is to what extent sort of the seasonality of, just like sort of summer coming up and market conditions in general, and sort of in the sense that it's hard. It might be a hard time right now to sort of, regardless of the quality of the marketing and the communication in Discord and Telegram, that it might be hard to sort of reach people. A lot of other external stuff going on that isn't directly related to sort of the crypto world.
You actually bring up a good point, because I think last year summer in Swarm we had the same feeling when we were doing like all of these first like after downhalls and swarm events, and people just kept less and less people just came together, and we were like, are we boring or what is happening? And we kind of moved to gaming stuff a bit also, just to have like chill time. But at some point, it just, as soon as new fun started, it just exploded, and now it's just crazy. We cannot have that chill day anymore or a chill week. Well, we can, but so much activity now, no sleep.
Yeah, good stuff. Looking at the clock, I guess. Yeah, we could wrap it up. I'm not sure we have to, but good. So much to look into, but awesome stuff. So yeah, thanks a lot for that.
What do you think? Do we just want to give it a try? Just to say, okay, for the people who have been in the call or who are in the call, just let's set up a task on dework. I could even take charge of it if you'd like. Just writing the task makes. Oh yeah, you could even make.
Can I send a DM on? That doesn't work, does it?
Oh, that's a pity. You can directly go on the person. What is really cool, because when you go on the, let it load for a second, you can see the whole audit track, which is really, really cool. So
Yeah.
you can even on dework then verify, okay, what happened, what not, what are the people involved in.
And if I click here, I DM you? No. Shit. I need to go back to copy that. I think I did set it up pretty, settings-wise, pretty lenient, but yeah, let me just DM. And that's not to say I don't want to invite other people, because I mean, I did not intend to be the solo admin of this. Yeah, I also don't want to force it onto other people. But just for the record, it's not something I see as a privileged position in any way. Except that you can click buttons. Yeah. But yeah, it would be cool. Let's test it.
Just writing one.
Erik, you were not here at the start. There is a task called name a working group in in the
4 submissions. We're getting there.
Erik, can you contribute with another name?
Yeah, I saw. I briefly glanced over it, but I wasn't sure if it was sort of serious or what was happening.
Oh, it is serious. See, there you go. It says fun.
Well, it is fun.
Okay, let's not mess up the tagging system.
Also,
what was that? What kind of gave you that impression? It should not be.
No, I mean, I just, I mean, I didn't really look into it. I just wasn't, just glanced over it. But I mean, not like I wouldn't check it out more. But it was. But another thought I had about to set this up now, or for me, like I will also wanted to make it yesterday, but I couldn't. But I'm thinking, at least for me and in general, would be fun as an experiment maybe to set up what we talked about. But I think I will be very busy and not able to participate so much for at least next or July at least. So I'm not sure how sort of urgent it would be, but I guess that would be up to you in a sense as well, if you want to start experimenting.
Experimenting with what?
With the sort of the token sort of model and participation.
Basically that process itself is, depends now on which side you want to see. I feel like participating in townhalls or working groups, that is gonna be like, there is a dework task, you join in, you submit, I was here and I'm still here, and that is enough to be part of the system already and create the visual auditability of these working groups and your own track record. But when you're talking about like setting up the task itself, I understand. That would be, I guess, like working group works and similar.
Yeah.
I just created a task and added a link on it to the event chat directly. When you go on Discord over the ambassadors event chat, exactly. And there you normally can just submit your work, just say write hello or whatnot. Then we see all the submissions normally coming. I'm not sure if you do it, Pete, you might be admin. Then no, cool, even works. Nice.
Yeah, it didn't say like it's because of the multiple.
Yep, exactly. So exactly like it is. So everybody else can just jump on, simply write a sentence, and admins then can approve them. Because once they are signed up in an event, you can say, okay, Grandana, check here. Tivo, check here. Eric, check here. Pete, check here. And you can just approve them.
I think we can perhaps retroactively assign to some who left earlier, or do you just having bad luck?
What we can do is we can send them the link and to ask them, hey, please sign up retroactively.
Yeah, I think that's better because we still want the practice of going back and forth between Diva and get people accustomed.
And to verify the call was recorded, and on the recording we then can see the Discord handles here, which are joined.
If I now assign something, would that
would change something? Yes.
Yeah, but that's not the way I should be doing it, right?
No. Keep it like this, and then when you have several where are all the? There've been several.
Just refresh the page.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you go on approve now, click on one approve files. And now it asks you just this one or more than one when you exact. And now you can add them step by step. You can approve them. Normally it should be just one time. More than one, and then you can select several.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a bit hard to test now with only one pending submission.
Keep this one open maybe on the beginning. But I think even if you approve there, no, you can approve already, and everybody else who submits will join. Yep.
No, this time it didn't ask. So I guess that there is a time delay to accept the configuration.
Yes. And what will happen then? This is one thing what is not so cool, because we don't have the Cardano integration yet. So we can't sign up directly with a wallet. When there is an integration, you could directly sign up to the wallet, with your wallet. But as it isn't the case yet, we have to reach out to the people, asking them for their address. But once we have the address, it's already then on the sheet. So what we do is simply setting up a Google Drive with a sheet, where we simply wait. I sent you, for example. This one.
Do I put the treasury document on the Mario port too?
Mhm. Ah, yes.
Didn't put that, but I guess I'm picking it up.
What we do is just setting up a very simple sheet where we just have date, contributor, the address, the task, and the rewards in a.symbol, HRX, however you want, with the dework link to it.
We kind of have that somewhat close to that at least.
Yeah,
The task, delivery, or like person,
exactly.
reward, wallet, transaction ID, and comment. So
The
that
only thing we add is the dework link directly, because this is the nice thing now, right? When you say, okay, you move the task into done, you have to add a review. In the review, you add the link to the YouTube channel. Add to the YouTube uploading from this meeting. And the dework link, so you link also here to the disbursements. So you have a direct, nice audit trail. People can go on dework. From dework can see the verification, can directly go to the YouTube video. And
That's
all the
fun.
stuff you put into the metadata of the transaction when you send the symbols out. For example.
yeah, yeah, cool. Okay, you're gonna have to walk me a couple of times through that process, I think, but yeah, I like it.
On the beginning, it's a little shitty, a lot of manual work. Not a lot of process, not so much. But yeah, we are looking to automate the whole stuff. So Tibo sets up, for example, right now, really nice automated sheet where we just have to click buttons and whatnot. Oh, this is the wrong one, Tibo. This is the one.
No, it's the same one. Just change the page.
Ah, cool. Okay, next page.
Or yeah, hope that link you can open it to. Then it just takes it to the original file.
And there, when you go on Swamp Gym, exactly. And there we have it.
Task timestamping. Okay. Yeah, okay. Separate. Makes sense.
And there you have to go on the second sheet. This is the one for our contributors, which we pay on a monthly basis. Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you scroll down, you can see that we added HRX now to it as well. So, one more company. And Peter, yeah, as well for the workshop in China. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
And as you see, it's still a very young experiment. So far we have 140 actions. So it's not that much, but enough to figure out if the process works. And what we do now, for example, is to say, oh, okay, you don't want to make for each of the stuff a single transaction. So what we do is from Monday to Sunday, we collect everything what was done.
Yeah.
And each Monday we send it out into one single bulk transaction. Because you can put as many transactions as you want in one single transaction. See.
Oh, and regarding that, if you need help, I guess we can hook him up with Treasury Quilt too. Then
This actually is a service which is one of the projects in Catalyst, which we started to build the Treasury Guild. These are two guys, and they are building up all the treasury and accounting services. And it's built by the community for the community.
Is that Andre?
Andrei and Miroslav, yes.
Miroslav. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I did have a check-in after last Friday's session during the weekend with Andre on GitLab, but conclusion was like, that's too early in the process. Sorry. Cool stuff.
Peter, do you have Windows computer?
Yes.
Do you have Excel?
Let me check.
Then probably not. Okay, I just wanted to know.
Why?
Because Excel macros cost around $10 per month, but why I would like to move there with these structured documents is that it gives the opportunity to automate anything. Because in Google Sheet you can't really scale with the requirements what are like needed. But in I just have more like knowledge and expertise using Excel.
Yeah, fair. I do not have it. I could get it, I guess.
But that's in future. And yeah, depends on how crazy it's gonna be for it. If it's like 10 transactions per week, I think it's gonna be fine with Google Sheet too. If it's gonna go crazy, then yeah, need to up the game and the data management. Else it's gonna be.
Right now I'm delegating that. Even on the current sheet with only 2 transactions, I did not do those transactions. Yeah, and there's also automations going on there, but it's good to keep in mind. But yeah, right now it should be fine.
Oh boy, I got a jump to Kimba Labs, so see ya.
Alright, cheers. Yeah, I guess for the idea I can move this one still a bit to the last slide, which is an open round. Just checking in if there's other things we should be touching on. But I think we we covered a ton, and yeah, good stuff.